would work.
Go live.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Banter Broadcast Network. Your host, Mark, and I got my main man, Dave, with me. Dave, what's good, brother?
Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. It usually works better when you take the mute button off. If you're watching us on YouTube tonight, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for post notifications, and get notified when we do more content like this.
Absolutely. And, like you said, you know where to find us on all audio platforms, Spotify, Apple, you name it, we're there. So go check us out there if you don't watch us live. Let's get into it, man. I mean, spring training is a week away. The roster's pretty much done. You have a few little odds and ends, a right-handed bat, especially outfielder they're looking at. The idea would have been nice to get Miguel Andujar until he signed with the Padres for $4 million. But chalk that up to a wonderful offseason where the Yankees thought that they're not running it back when they truly are running it back. With most
they're really not. I mean, Mark Leiter Jr. is not here anymore, so that's not really running it back with the same team. So
yes,
it's the small things that matter.
It's they work within the margins. That's what they're doing, working within the margins. But their idea is to turn around and they want to get they want to get some sort of right-handed bat. Listen, Brian Cashman he went from 4 years ago being overtly right-handed, having one left-handed bat. Now he's overtly left-handed now. So there's got to be some sort of happy medium that they hopefully can get. Maybe more bench pieces that could be there, but I don't know where they're going to see I don't know where they're going to get this right-handed bat from. I mean, do you have any?
I don't know. I mean, I was always a big Andujar fan. I mean, his first game when they brought him up against the White Sox, I believe it was the same game that Dustin Fowler blew his knee out running into the right field wall at Yankee Stadium. But he went 2 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs and 2 stolen bases, and they sent him back to Scranton the next day. It's like, what are we doing? And it's just unfortunate that he separated his shoulder sliding back in the third, because he was supposed to be our third baseman. Towards labrum. And he was supposed to be our third baseman of the future, and which gave way to Gio Urshela, and the Lightning they caught in a bottle for a couple of years with him. But I don't know where they're getting this right-handed bat from. We talked last week about Paul Goldschmidt. I'm not a fan of it at all. And now they're being linked to Randall Grichuk. Let me put it this way. They got 4 bench spots, and I feel like we got 8 bench players. Not a good look going into spring training. But the core of what we're talking about tonight is going to be interesting to talk about. So that's I'll save what I was going to go into for later on down the road.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're right about it. I mean, there's a lot of bench pieces that are there that are playing. There's too many, there's a lot of lefty bats. I think they could have solved a lot of the problems if they went ahead and made the moves that they should have done. I think that they couldn't make the moves to get more right-handed because they decided to bring back Trent Grisham. I think all this lands at his feet. And right now he's getting a lot of cover because Cody Bellinger's back, and Cody Bellinger got the bigger contract than he did. I feel like if Cody Bellinger didn't come back, and a lot of people, I think a lot of other people have said this before too, but Trent Grisham, the boos would be really loud for Trent Grisham if Cody Bellinger didn't come back, and Trent Grisham has, gets off to a really slow start or doesn't perform the way he's supposed to. That we're expecting a $22.9 million player to perform. So, with that said, there's a lot of interesting things that are happening. There's a lot of talk going on about where they can go, how the roster is going to be. But I think the main part of this roster right now is an interesting part because of what Aaron Boone said. He went on the Fan this past week. If for those of you who haven't heard, and he kind of talked, and the big takeaway was he was talking about Anthony Volpe. And let's go into a little history on, especially about this show in particular with Anthony Volpe. A couple of weeks ago, we had OG Danny on here, and Danny's always been the biggest Anthony Volpe fan. Myself, I've kind of been on the other side of the coin, not because I dislike him, but because I felt that we were being sold a product that wasn't what we were being sold. He was coming up. He was supposedly coming. He came up through the system with the power, with the bat, and with speed. And when he got to the big leagues, the power, was there, but his hitting prowess was not there. His defense was shot up, but with a very poor arm. Even throughout the entire time he was in the minors, everyone but the Yankees were projecting him as a second baseman. So there's been a lot of good and bad for this player, and there's been a lot of will he, should he, can he, won't he type of talk out there. And Aaron Boone kind of said it himself that Jose Caballero, he finally admitted that Jose Caballero had been working himself into a more regular place, and there's a possibility that might happen. There's also really good chance that when Anthony Volpe will get the starting job back when his injury is done, when he returns from the IL, but he doesn't get a long leash, it seems like. And even Aaron Boone kind of said himself, going, not everyone's path is linear, and he might not be here in the long term. And he might become the player that they think he is by being on a different team. That's something I've said many times before then. So
finally, it only took 4 years for Aaron Boone to start listening to this podcast. About damn time.
Hey man, I've been preaching these things since day one. I've been preaching it, man. I give the kid credit where credit's due when he did really well. But I also tell you when he was doing bad, and not someone who's going to sugarcoat it. So here's the thing. I'm still on that impression that he could be a decent player. I don't think he's going to be some sort of superstar, but I hope to be wrong if he sticks around with the Yankees. But I think the Yankees are more interested in the dollar value that he can provide and the business side of it all. That, the picture with Derek Jeter is the kid from Jersey that only wants to be a shortstop, even though he can't really be a shortstop per se. So I've said my piece on this time and time again. I finally am happy that the Yankees are kind of beginning to acknowledge the fact that this might not be the future, especially since you have a couple of shortstops in the farm system that are beginning to get their hay and beginning to make their way up. You got George Lombard Jr., who I'm sure will get a good look this spring training.
He's a non-roster invite.
Yeah, he's not going to make the team. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're going to do like what they did with Spencer Jones last year. They're going to let him play in a lot of games. They're going to get a really good look at him, see where he's at, and then kind of go from there. Maybe try to push him forward. And then you got Dax Kilby. He's another one that's kind of, he's on the way up too. So those are your two guys that are kind of really pushing in the shortstop position. Really, let's be honest about it. The Yankees position players in the minor leagues are very thin. When you trade like 20 people in 5 months, your farm system is going to take a hit. So, Dave, I want you to tell me what you think about what Aaron Boone was saying.
Well, like you said, it's about time they finally read the writing on the wall. I was hopeful for this kid. when he first came up, but he was rushed. And people are forgetting that. He had a cup of coffee, I think played a total of 14 games in Scranton before they brought him up the following year out of spring training. So I think he could have really used a full year of development in AAA before they brought him up. They had options going into the 2023 season for shortstop. So these stories that you're hearing, he was the only solution. No, not true. You could have found someone to patch the hole there until he was ready. You could have. They just didn't want to because, the story and all this. Yeah, that story's great, but you got to go out there and perform. This is New York. This isn't Tampa Bay. Sorry, Roman. This isn't, Pittsburgh or Arizona or any other small market team where you can get away with batting less than what you weigh and having subpar performances. And I'm taking the injury out of the equation. Collectively, he has not been offensively that great. He just hasn't been. And I would feel a hell of a lot more comfortable with Jose Caballero at shortstop right now over Anthony Volpe or Oswaldo Cabrera at this point. But they need to figure it out. And I think there's a reason why George Lombard Jr. is a non-roster invite to spring training. It's to put the pressure on Volpe, saying, if you can't get it done, this is what's going to replace you. So not exactly a bad option. I really hope to God they don't rush GLJ like they did with Volpe. I hope they take their time with him and they don't pull the trigger too early on him and ruin him on top of all of this. So that's where I'm at with it. Like I said, it's about time. It's sad. I wanted this to work out for this kid. He tore up the minor leagues, but there's a stark difference between minor league baseball and Major League Baseball. There's a big difference, especially when you only play 14 games at the highest level in the minor leagues before getting the call to the big show. And they gave him the keys to the Ferrari after batting 377 in 20 spring training games. That doesn't show you anything. Spring training is where teams are evaluating their talent, their prospects, the guys that they signed to minor league deals with invites to Major League Spring Training, guys that are holding on to the end of their careers. And you're playing against other teams, minor leaguers. The stars may play like half a game. Pitchers may pitch 1 to 3 innings depending on where they're at in either their rehab process or stuff that they're working on. I didn't agree. I was not shocked that they did what they did, but at the same time, spring training doesn't tell me anything. Wow, you can hit AA and single A pitching. I would hope so at this point in your career.
Well, I want to put a pause on the fact that he was tearing up the minor leagues because at no point did he ever surpass Oswald Peraza. Oswald Peraza was always a level ahead of him. And at one point, Oswald Peraza did tear up the minor leagues. He went from high A to triple A in one season. Mm-hmm. Volpe was just kind of pushed along the way as well. When Peraza moved, they had to fill the spot behind him, and that was Volpe filling the spot. The Yankees always tell you exactly what prospects they like more so than anything else. Look at how they're treating Spencer Jones. Look at how they're treating Jason Dominguez. They can say everything they want to say about, Jason was going to get all the time in the world. He was the guy, but Trent Grisham had the year he had. You know what? They turned around. They didn't play Jason the second half of the season when Trent Grisham was falling off. They didn't play Jason in the playoffs when Trent Grisham was still falling off. They only put Jason Dominguez in for a game, for a at bat. When the
ropes a double.
Bottom of the ninth,
ropes an RBI double.
Well, it was a leadoff. It was a leadoff double.
Oh,
it was a leadoff double, so that Anthony Volpe does not get booed because he was getting booed because he was striking out at 75% in the playoffs this past season. Just think of that for one more time, 75%. And this is the guy the Yankees were hanging their hat on. He is spectacular. He is generational. He is the dude, as Boone would always say. The stud. 75% strikeout rate.
Now we know why the Reds laughed at us when we tried to trade him to Cincy for Luis Castillo.
Don't forget the Nationals. Nationals laughed at it. Nationals laughed. They turned around. They said, "Oh, we'll give you a shortstop of the future." And they turned around and said, "He's not a shortstop." They flat out said it. He's not a shortstop. 29 other teams today say he's not a shortstop. So, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing for. I mean, Volpe's what? Going to be 25 years old, I think.
Yeah.
This is going into his fourth season. It's been a very rough go around for him. Season 1, we can talk about the fact that he won the Gold Glove, but he also had Gold Glovers at first base, kind of picking those dead balls out of the dirt for him. He had a decent range, but he couldn't make the throws, and then all of a sudden he couldn't hit his weight. But definitely used the short porch in right field to his advantage, and went 2020. But how you go in 2020, and then your idea is that you should be stealing 50 bags, and you can't get on base to steal 50 bags is something else. His second year started off hot, fell apart at the end. Fell apart the second half of the season. Couldn't hit anything. Last year, all of a sudden everyone's now going to talk about the injury. Brian Cashman's sitting there talking about, oh, it was the injury. It's the injury. It's the injury. If it was that much of an injury, why was he still playing the amount of games he played? Why was it that, oh, we're going to give him a breather. We're going to give him a breather and then set him back out there to play? Why was he sitting there playing every single game in the postseason when it mattered if he cannot perform? The Yankees have ulterior motives. They want this guy to win. They want him to. They don't want him to win. They want him to be the guy to ship, so they can turn around and say, "We showed you guys, and we're proving everybody wrong. We're proving Brian Cashman's going to prove Joel Sherman wrong because Brian Cashman after year 1 was all in on pushed all the chips in on Volpe, and that's where it comes down to is that they pushed all their chips in on this kid. They didn't make a move on any free agent shortstop during a historic free agent class. They've not tried to get anybody else to come in here when there's been obvious problems. And now we're sitting here not reaping the benefits, not reaping the rewards of the problems that have been created. We're now sitting here with another question mark at shortstop. We've had, after Didi, we've had nothing but question marks in that position. And he has not been the solution.
Should have just kept Didi. Should have just kept him.
Yeah, but Didi fell apart after he left. So, I mean...
Yeah, probably because he left New York.
Maybe not.
He had one... His last season here was solid. And I was shocked when they didn't re-sign him. I was shocked.
Well, I think they were pushing for Gleyber Torres to step up and take over. I mean, you got to remember something. The 2 years that Gleyber was there, I mean, Gleyber's first 2 years, when you're hitting, I think he hit high 20s in the home runs, and then the next year he hit 38 home runs.
Because of the juice baseball.
Yes. I mean, we know that now. And he never turned around and never readjusted himself after. It took him, 2 years? 3 years to adjust to what the baseballs were? Come on. I mean, yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big difference of what's happening. But, what can you do?
No idea. For all we know, Paul DeYoung could be our starting shortstop come opening day.
Well, no, I mean, no, they're here's the problem. Is that the Yankees I don't know why they're not continuing to go over, but they've already gone over the stupid luxury tax. There's the self-imposed, salary cap that's out there, which they blew past. But they're only tiptoeing past it. They're not going full board past this thing. Like, if you already passed it, you've already passed the Cohen tax. Go full board now. Go Dodgers. Go what the Dodgers are doing. Go exactly what the Mets are doing. You should have gone full board and gone full in.
Yeah, I mean, when you're getting outbid by the Padres from Miguel Andujar's services at $4 million, that's kind of embarrassing. $4 million to the Yankees is like pocket change at that point. Like, I don't get it.
I think I think this. I think that they realize that they can say all they want to say about the fact that they love this. They love the team from last year. They love what's happening. They love this whole group and what they have here. I don't think that I don't believe that they think they can really win.
Watch this be the team that does win it all.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, what a slap in the face to all of us fans this would be. This is the freaking team that wins the World Series in 2026. Like,
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that have to go right.
I will scratch my head so damn hard. Like,
that's the baseball gods talking to you right there. That's the baseball gods talking to everyone, going, "This is what all you fans know here. All these dudes are going to have career years, and then that's
Grisham going to go 50-50.
Yeah, right. He's going to go 50-50.
Anthony Volpe is going to bat 385.
No. Well, let's not go that crazy here. Listen,
JC Escar is going to be the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, right.
Cody Bellinger is going to win a batting title.
That one's not too far out of the picture. I mean, he could. No. He could that. If you said Ryan McMahon winning the batting title.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I stand corrected now. There we go. Mark fixed it for me. Ryan McMahon's going to win the batting title, everybody, and the Gold Glove at third base. You heard it here first.
I can believe that one. I can believe the Gold Glove.
Will Warren's going to win a Cy Young.
Aye.
Oh God! Watch all this shit happen.
I don't even know what I would do if that happens, man. I'm
trying to be excited for this season, but like all these off-season moves, it's just like I just hate this team. I just like
it's not that I hate.
I have this empty feeling inside of me that just doesn't.
Not excited. It's fun. It's weird enough. I was excited for pretty much this team last year. I'm not excited for this team this year.
No, I pretty much have the same feeling going into. God, when was the last time we had a really iffy team like this? I'm trying to remember. 2016, 2017 ish.
2017, yeah, 2017 was all the baby bombers that were coming out. And they exceeded all expectations.
Yep.
So here, you know what? Let's think of it this way. We're down to like probably the last 2 years. This year, next year, we'll push it out for a third year for Judge. Like this is prime. These are prime years. Right? We can agree on that, right? This is Cole's in a different thing because he's coming back from a major injury.
Yeah, but I'm talking age-wise. Like he'll be 35 or 36 this year, I think.
He's going to be 36 this year.
Yeah.
Judge is what, 34, 35? I mean, they're
he'll
right
35
there
in June.
So these are the final years of both of their prime.
And they're just messing around with it. I hope to God he doesn't become Don Mattingly 2.0. No ring.
There's a good chance. There's a really good chance that that happens.
That's just criminal at that point. Like we haven't had a generational player like this probably since Mantle. Mantle and DiMaggio are the two that pop into my brain that even come close to Judge.
Are you talking homegrown type of talent?
Yeah, well, I'm just talking in general. For anyone to have worn the pinstripes, like those two are the only two that really come to mind.
I mean, you'd say A-Rod was a generational talent too.
Yeah, but
yeah, he was.
But A-Rod, it took him a while to get going here, though. I'm talking postseason wise. I'm talking in totality. Judge has been performing.
Judge last year was the only year that Judge really did well in the postseason. Think of it that
I
way.
mean,
Judge has been here since 2017. He hasn't had the postseason run that a lot of other guys have had. And I'm not knocking him, but he hasn't shown up in the postseason. So
I mean,
you know what I mean?
historically,
Like,
the postseason relies on all 9 guys in that lineup to
yes, but
perform. It doesn't
historically
come
also,
down to one guy carrying the team.
No, but he's also not been. He's come up short in moments as well. More often than not. And A-Rod came right up until 2004 was doing fine in the postseason, then until 2009.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, like, Judge hasn't been the best of the postseason type of guy. Like, if you put him next to Stanton's postseason runs have been fantastic.
Not last year.
Well, no, not last year. I think because you want to know why? Because I think you want to know, Jesus Christ, Stan will always get that injury somewhere in the middle of the season, and kind of come back and go through the slump to then heat up for the postseason. This time
That's
around,
why I said I don't want to see him anywhere near this team until June.
No. I want him to start on the team, get injured in June, come back, struggle through October, struggle through August, then turn it on for September and let that run through. That's the wave I want.
No.
That's the wave, because you think about it. Last year he wasn't with the team till June. Guess what? He came off hot, then slumped, and then took that slump into the postseason. You want him to start off on the team, injured, slump, then get by September he's back. He's turned around and is on the heater.
Or how about this? How about we just don't get injured at all?
Well, that's
what
not
a thought.
Happen. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
What a thought.
Yankees have screwed up Stanton since they got him. So yeah, that's not happening anymore. Coming off an MVP season, you're going to be the DH the rest of your time.
Well, what are they going to do with him? They had Judge and right and Guardian left.
Could have moved Guardy to center, and then you could have moved Judge. You could have moved Judge to left, Guardy to center, and then had what's his face, and had Stanton there. Or
you couldn't do that. You had the golden child, Aaron Hicks, playing center field.
Very true, very true. But here's a different idea. But here's this one. You didn't have to trade for him. You could have signed Bryce Harper, who would have fit the team much better. Yeah, he would have been the lefty bat to Aaron Judge, and you would have had a 2-3 or 3-4 right then and there for Judge's career. And Bryce Harper could play left field without a doubt. Didn't have to move Judge at that point. You still had Gary Sanchez on the team. Maybe they wouldn't have screwed around with Gary Sanchez too much. You got a 3-4-5. You have a 2-3-4, 3-4-5, however you want to put it at that point. Now you have the makings, and you could have turned around and you were thinking, and you could have gotten him, and then you still would have had money for Garrett Cole, because you wouldn't have gotten Manny Machado. So it's either you got Machado, you got Harper, and boom, you still get Garrett Cole. Now you have a third baseman, or you have a left fielder for the future that you still would have had. And both those guys are still in their prime in regards to Machado and Harper.
I just honestly can't wait for spring training to get here and get over with so we can stop trying to answer all these hypotheticals that make absolutely no sense.
Oh, yeah, no. All the questions are there's too many questions, and
I feel like I'm trying to solve math problems. Like, this is just dumb.
Well, I mean, you're trying to figure out how five people who can play DH are going to play in the field. You're trying to figure out how 3 left-handed catchers are going to continue to play. Because don't forget, Ben Rice is still, Aaron Boone also said, he's doing really good at first base, but he's still taking his reps at catcher. They're not, they're still waiting for the Austin Wells to slump to come around, just like the Volpe slumps happen, and both of them will tank at the same time, and they're going to have to figure out, we're going to put Ben Rice then, because if the catcher can't catch, then we got to move him there. Then we got to figure out a first baseman. And
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, to get him to keep taking reps behind the dish. I mean, he calls a good game.
I'm not knocking it.
Still like having his bat, you know.
What I'm saying is that they want to get right-handed, but they didn't make any moves for a right-handed catcher. The craziest
move wasn't really many out there available though.
Yeah, we got to find it somewhere. Well, you shouldn't have traded Augustin Ramirez.
Yeah, well, you want Jazz? Yeah, you get something up. It's got to hurt.
No, I get that. They could have. I think they still could have made that deal without Augustin going.
I mean, look at Rafael Flores when the Pirates called him up. You know, I mean, that one hurt too.
I mean, listen, they're all going to hurt. You know, Caleb Durbin hurting. Rock Riggio's going to hurt.
TJ Ronfield.
TJ, Jesus Christ.
The Rockies got two really good guys from us, man. I'm pissed.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, my thing is this, right? When Austin Wells goes through another one of those slumps again, you put Ben Rice back there, you had TJ Rumsfeld waiting to take over first base. Who's an actual first baseman? They're worried about what's going to happen at first base, and you get rid of an actual first baseman. I don't get what
you can easily put Cody there and put J-Dom in the outfield. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes too much sense. That's why they won't do it.
It's a lot of things that make sense that they don't do. So I don't know.
What else we got?
You know, I mean, I guess we got the wait list right now, which is going to be what they're going to do with J-Dom, what they're going to do with Spencer Jones. I mean, the other thing Brian Cashman said this past week was that Spencer Jones needs more time and more seasoning in AAA.
Well, that's evident. His strikeout rate needs to come down.
Yeah, but this is coming from the guy that said in the beginning of the offseason that, as we stand right now, it's an open competition between Judge and I'm sorry, not Judge, between Jones and Jason to man left field. This was right after Trent Grisham signed the deal. So you go from him in the mix to make the team to you got Jones in the mix to make the team to then going, no, you're just going to go back to AAA. Like this is like like I always wish that I always like, even if when it was the fake what's it called? When they had the time that they had they had all the players vying for the position, even when it was fake, when they knew that so and so was going to get the job, they make it look good. Like they're flat saying no. Team's already said we have people in the position they're going to be in. So be it. Jones is going to be in AAA. George Lombard Jr. is going to start off in AA. And they're going to hope by June, July, he's going to be pushing up to AAA. That's exactly what I think the whole thing is going to be.
Yeah,
and they're going to push everything until next year because Trent Grisham might not come back. They might not bring Trent Grisham back next year. Have the open competition for Jones and Dominguez. Maybe at that point they have another open competition for Lombard to take second base wide. After this coming season, you'll have second base open. So if they're not looking to re-sign Jazz, because it doesn't seem like they're having any conversation about extending him, then you can move Volpe over to second, George Lombard Jr. at shortstop, you still McMahon at third, and continue on from there.
So around the Jeremy's chiming in. Yankees is just going to continue killing Spencer Jones's value until he's not worth anything, and that's when they'll trade him, i.e. Clint Frazier. Well, I mean, he's only hurting his own value if he can't fix the strikeout rate. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere when your strikeout rate in the minor leagues is over 30%. That's just going to get worse going to the major league level. So until he figures that out.
So let me ask you this: what was Judge's strikeout rate in the minors?
I'm not sure.
Remember what Judge's strikeout rate was when he first came up to the big leagues?
No.
First, it was close to 50%. It was in the 40s that first season, and everybody turned around and goes, "Oh, what do we got here? He's
What,
too
in 2016 or
big. Don't know what's
2017?
going to happen." 2016, when they first called him up.
Yeah, he
First called him up.
also only played like 2 weeks, pulled his hammy, and then was done for the rest of the year, and then came back in 17.
He had 80 some odd at bats. Batted 182 or something like that. 80 something at bats, 40 something strikeouts. Like he was striking out left and right.
Yeah.
You know? As Jeremy said, Judge was 47%.
Yeah.
But
around the league, not much going on, just a bunch of people adding non-roster dudes to spring training. Although our boy Ken Waldichuk was claimed off waivers by the Washington Nationals from the Tampa Bay Rays today. So interesting. And we claimed Osvaldo Beto off waivers from the LA Angels. So yeah, that's what's going on around the rest of the league. Now, and Taras Gubel won his arbitration hearing for $32 million. And Framber Valdez signed with the Detroit Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's around the league. So, well,
biggest left-hand contract in his.
Oh,
don't forget 2020, 2030. We're right now we have 2030. We have the top international play, one of the top international guys. Even though we had all those problems, handshake agreement for between $6.2 to $7 million.
Yeah, we'll
going to change it all.
We'll see what happens in 2029.
We're looking to the future. We're looking to the future. We're looking to the future, baby.
There goes Mark and his.
We're looking to the future, my man. We're looking to the future.
International prospects that can't even drive a car yet, or shave for that matter. Anyway, on that note, that's gonna do it for us.
They might shave.
Well, that's only if their birth certificates aren't accurate. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us. Check us out every Thursday night. Seems to be 9 o'clock now because Mark's son's back in baseball. So is mine. So we're gonna go back to 9 o'clock. And now that I'm back on the night shift for my regular job, when I work, we're gonna do every other Thursday and Monday. So we'll keep you posted when that starts happening. But either way, we will be here once a week. Unless something massive and earth-shattering happens, then you'll see us more than once a week. So, which is better for you guys.
For everyone.
Better for us.
For everyone.
And we got something special possibly in the works for March. So, keep it locked.
Keep tuned. Yeah.
We'll see you.